My name is Erica Lorraine Spencer, and I remain subject to state surveillance and terrorism by the state of California that is operating a malicious targeting system, which is referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices. And it is in violation of federal stalking statute 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsections 1 and 2. My website and podcast serve the public good by publishing evidence of the public entity's ceaseless engagement in a pattern of conduct intended to stalk and monitor via communication devices, surveil, harass, and terrorize an American citizen in concert with the people of the state of California. Documentation serves the lawful purposes of wide exposure, federal prosecution, and influencing federal legislation with policies specifically designed to punish, dismantle, and disincentivize an unprecedented targeting system by a public entity that acts in concert with the people of the state in order to criminally place under surveillance and terrorize an American citizen, which is a matter of public corruption in the state of California. Erica Lorraine Spencer here. The following is an audio version of video evidence that is captured for purposes of mass distribution, which is why I am capturing it and sharing it on the podcast for evidentiary purposes and also to reveal the wealth of documentation that extends beyond what it is that I document on podcasts. Much of the video and images will be published onto the YouTube channel, the P.O.C, and it is also shared on the Google Drive. Again, this is for purposes of revealing what I remain subject to, which is federal group stalking and monitoring. It is a demonic system of state surveillance that the government is practicing in concert with the people of the state, and it should be known and well understood that for the government to engage in federal group stalking and monitoring, this is a crime that is committed with a criminal purpose to threaten the life of an American citizen. This is to conspire to murder and or permanently kidnap an American citizen while engaging in a perpetual sex offense in concert with the people of the state. All right, this is called Surrounding. He's under the fake sun. This is where it's at 10:22 in the morning, and right now it is 2:14, and that's AVANATH gang stalking because he's both on the job and he's gang stalking with the residents. You'll see in the images as I start taking pictures outside of Tracy Banks' bedroom window door, the elderly are stalking in the path. That's P.O.C. And you can see the population that comes onto the grounds gang stalking, doing so in the same manner where the fake sun is over me at 12:29, 12:30 in the afternoon, and the fake sun is going around the same building. This is where the fake sun is at 10 o'clock in the morning. Ontario PD are gang stalking with those that come onto the grounds, including the city of Ontario, emptying the garbage to engage in the elements of monitoring. And this is AVANATH Capital Management's impunity, engaged in what is the operation of a communication device while he's wearing a uniform. That's a commercial means of gang stalking as well. They're continuously engaged in what is surveillance while the state flies directly over my head where you see the fake sun, and the entity is gang stalking with the residents.
Hi, honey. How are you today?
That's audible activity. Stalking in the path, and that's a psychopath at those that are being documented. Using friendly speech is audible activity and malice. All right, and you already know that the entity is engaged in the P.O.C. while it's remaining in the same location. P.O.C. 9SNX397. P.O.C. All right, the Asian male, I'm taking pictures of them. They have their flashers on. They're stalking in the path with light activity. Have a good day. The entity engaged in the P.O.C. As an entity, that's Linda Reyes, pacing in and out. She's gang stalking. All right, and the entity has the fake sun over this apartment building. The sunrise at 7:28 a.m. It's over the same apartment building. It's doing the exact same thing at 10:22 in the morning, at 10:42 in the morning. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The entity is also keeping it over me in Los Angeles, while Alvarado Gardens is gang stalking, just like Woodside Senior Apartments is, as a citywide effort. Okay, stalking in the path at the dumpster at 10:22 in the morning, stalking in the path at the gym right now with the same prop in her hand, the broom in the dustpan, while the state in planes is stalking under a fake sun. And they're doing so with, again, knowledge of what I'm doing. The old lady that walks by in the images that I capture, she's walking by with simultaneity while I operate my device in the specific environment where the fake sun is still setting here in alignment to me at this same exact apartment after 5 p.m., which is what you saw yesterday, what I continuously document. And then I'm also reminding you, as you juxtapose it to the sunset that's happening in my bedroom window in Los Angeles at Alvarado Gardens at 1806 North Alvarado Street, apartment number 6. All right, these are the elderly that are still engaging in surveillance. They are going to prison and mental asylums. This is mental illness exhibited while they're gang stalking as a community effort on behalf of the government that's using millions of dollars to stalk in planes and helicopters, and they're demon-possessed while they do so in a demonic environment that defies nature and science and common sense. All right, AVANATH Capital Management gang stalking through its employees and gang stalking with the population that comes onto the ground. It's not enough that they do it through the residents. They do it through those that come onto the grounds engaging in that P.O.C. It is currently 2:17 p.m. This is where both the fake sun rises, and you're seeing it here, right? At 2 o'clock and after 5 p.m., which is what I documented yesterday, the fake sun is still in a position to where it's shining through what are closed blinds and underneath this window covering, which again, as opposed with regard to logistics, the fake sun is still remaining in a place where in a position, in a location where it's still in alignment with the same living room window, because it's not in Florida right now. It never went to Florida. It was never in Florida, as a matter of the totality of circumstances documenting the P.O.C. And it's certainly not in anywhere in Los Angeles, while hours from now, after 5 p.m., it's still in a position to be aiming through in perfect alignment with me, because the demon-possessed are supposed to have you thinking that that's the cause for the engineer light that's on Tracy Banks's same east living room wall that it is here, all right? This is the entity that is stalking amongst engineer light, and it has nothing to do with the fake sun that I documented yesterday after 5 p.m., while that fake sun is after 5 p.m. shining right here as I take pictures of it. And then I step out and get video at 5 p.m. of the same idle fake sun 3 hours from now. This is P.O.C. It's 2:18 p.m. These are the mentally ill that are acting with impunity and malice, and they are going to prison and mental asylums, including the employees. And the entity is keeping the fake sun, while engineer light that you saw manifesting on the, just look at the pictures I took before I started this video, because you'll see the shadow of the gate appearing on this chair right here. You'll see light that's coming underneath a shaded structure, and you're also looking at what is the evidence that the entity has what is a fake sun that's remaining for an enduring time frame from the beginning until the end of the day, where you're looking at surveillance, sex offenders, stalking by just basically going in and out of the parking lot, in and out of their apartments, to and fro, stalking in the path while they're monitoring. These are old, aged sex offenders, gang stalking, and they are also engaged in monitoring my genitalia in the bathroom. Okay, that's the sexual violence pursuant to the pattern of conduct. And AVANATH Capital Management's community manager is engaged in that sex offense knowingly and continuously, because she's monitoring the evidence that she knows already collected, and she's still gang stalking today on March 19, 2025. And the entity is going to keep the fake sun here, as you already know, after 5 p.m. because it's right here after 5, not moving anywhere. And the shadow of this patio furniture is then coating this glass door at a shorter elevation, rising in elevation, arriving on all parts of the patio. That's speaking to an impossible method of light activity where shadows of things are appearing upright, and the light is so potent and powerful that it's creating the shadow of the furniture on the patio that is covered, by the way. In addition to what is the evidence that's speaking to there's no sun whatsoever at Alvarado Gardens at any point of the day, because it's rising and setting over me at this time of year in Los Angeles at Alvarado Gardens. Okay, the entity is engaged in the P.O.C. It's 2:20 p.m. This is a sex offense that AVANATH Capital Management's engaging in. They are obsessively stalking in the path outside right now while I get video. You're looking at that demon in Unit 41 keeping his back to me, then walking to the dumpster. You're looking at the residents concentrating their vision on a vehicle. You're looking at the manager walking in and out of the gym. You're looking at the residents that are maintaining presence on both sides of the sidewalk. They're gang stalking. They're stalking in the path on both sides of me, amongst what is engineered light that has nothing to do with the enduring fake sun that you see now that's still here after 5 p.m., while this same engineered light is nothing other than a brighter color orange. Those are demons, and they're stalking the person that is federally prosecuting them at the same time, meaning they're going to prison and they're not getting out. They're going to mental asylums and they're not getting out. It's currently 2:20 p.m. This is P.O.C. All right, documenting what is the pattern of conduct underway by AVANATH Capital Management, AVANATH Capital Management's co-defendants in the form of the residents, AVANATH Capital Management's co-defendants in the form of its employees, AVANATH Capital Management's co-defendants in the form of the population that is entitled to and welcome to come onto the grounds to engage in the pattern of conduct, not any lawful or constitutionally protected engagement in what is business, commercial business, where the elements of monitoring are remaining underway by all of AVANATH's co-defendants. And as I document, let me include the third-party license plate. This is an Asian male who's gang stalking. He is sharing in the criminal acts of obstruction that is harassing and terrorizing me while I'm documenting him, while his co-defendants that he came onto the grounds gang stalking with are engaging in what is psychological torture tactics. This is the amplified booming that's heard in Tracy Banks' apartment as I just finished the video that you just listened to on the podcast. It's currently 2:22 p.m. Let me get his license plate. This third party that is engaged in criminal acts of obstruction of justice. This is the third party whose license plate is 8CEN634. This is a white Toyota Scion, I believe. Or is this a Prius? This is a Prius, license 8CEN634, and this appears to be an Asian male. He's wearing dark blue, navy blue bottoms, dirty white tennis shoes, a mauve pink shirt underneath what is a cream colored hoodie. He has a short haircut, dark colored haircut, and he is in operation of his communication device as I'm capturing images of him gang stalking at 2:13 p.m. You can see the fake sun reflecting off of his front windshield at what is 2:13 p.m. and 50 seconds. This is speaking to the immediacy of the fake sun directly over the top of my head, by the way, and also with regard to the enduring presence. The entity has this fake sun in this same position where I'm standing at the corner where Unit 41 is. In order for it to be reflecting off of this windshield, it's in a substantially similar position that it is at 8 o'clock in the morning when I'm documenting on video and in images, and I'm documenting the same venue, the same pattern of conduct by a different face, and the duration of time analysis is what you would recognize here. 8 a.m. till 2, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. That will be 6 hours later. That's speaking to the specific environment as well. I've documented just as late the same defendants, Linda Reyes, who was gang stalking with the same prop in her hand using a broom and a dustpan while she's stalking me as a malicious third party who was also engaged in federal stalking and is currently engaged in what is harassing and terrorizing me and psychologically torturing me as I enforce my rights against her, a domestic terrorist who was acting in furtherance of trying to murder and kidnap me and falsely depict my character. That's why she's gang stalking as a community manager at a facilitating venue. She is engaging in that pattern of conduct in this same image where she is at the same venue at 2:13 in the afternoon, where you see this third party gang stalking on the grounds of AVANATH, which is going to be prosecuted for, because the population is gang stalking with the venue, gang stalking with the people of the state at the venue on a ceaseless basis. That's their point of engagement with regard to engaging in surveillance and doing so in concert with those that come onto the grounds to participate in surveillance and psychological torture and harassment and the perpetual sex offense. While you're looking at this light source, remember right behind this vehicle with license plate 8CEN634, Linda Reyes is gang stalking with the same prop in her hand, a broom and a dustpan, and it's happening at what is 10:42 in the morning, where the fake sun is in a substantially similar position as it is in the image captured at 2:13 p.m. where the fake sun is reflecting off of this defendant's windshield. And this is the ability to just look at the video evidence that's already captured. It's the same parking lot. I'm at the same apartment complex. You're looking at the same maintenance of a light source that's over the same venue, which is, again, not a private property. This is a facilitating venue where now you are being removed from any constitutional protections and you are fully exposed to being prosecuted as the corrupt government that is engaged in domestic terrorism, targeting an American citizen via that population that's at that venue, surrounding that venue, and doing so in concert with the entity in that specific environment. That's why that specific environment that defies nature is there, and it is directly proven through the body of evidence that I have continuously captured about the gang stalking practices of Linda Reyes on video and AVANATH Capital Management employees like the resident and employee residing in unit number 41. Even his children with the minors that he's gang stalks with, they are under the fake sun at the same apartment unit at what is in video captured at 10:42 in the morning, 10:22 in the morning, and he's standing gang stalking me with his back to me like cowards do. In operation of his communication device, he's engaged in federal stalking, and he's engaged in federal stalking whether he's operating his phone or not. But I want to be clear, they're monitoring while you're looking at them study their devices. They're doing so under the fake sun. They are diligently engaged in the P.O.C. in operation of their devices. This is federal stalking while they keep their backs to you, doing so under the fake sun, because that's what I'm focusing on. The demon keeps their back to me. The fake sun is reflecting off of the windshield of a third party at 2:30 in the afternoon at the same apartment where it's over me at 8 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock, 11:40 in the morning, 10:22, 10:42 in the 10:22 and 10:42 in the morning, and this is while it is at the same time rising and setting. That is not going anywhere while I documented the P.O.C. as I was subject to it in the specific environment in Los Angeles, California. So I want to document that. Again, I just captured the video at 2:14 p.m. is when I started capturing video, and the video ends at 2:20. And the moment that I end that video, the demons that are gang stalking by residents are sharing in psychological torture, and that is not their criminal conduct alone. It's the entity, including the license plate I'm reciting. they are all going to be prosecuted for ongoing criminal acts of obstruction of justice and psychological torture. That is, after the federal government is seeking to prosecute you, there's a case against you by virtue of my document to you. There's already a case against you as being in the city and in the state. But I specifically documented you, and then the entity, that same entity that you are a part of, is engaging what is psychologically torturing the federal prosecutor, the federal government. This is the state that is engaging in that sort of defiance toward federal law and the federal prosecution of itself. Okay, in doing so, that's what you'll see illustrated in the image that I capture at 2:21 p.m. The video that I captured, it ended at 2:20, so seconds later, amplified booming. And that amplification of booming is happening under the fake sun that's still at this same apartment after 5 p.m., which is exactly what the demon in Unit 55 was doing yesterday, as I expounded upon after 5 p.m., where I'm at the front door after documenting the sex offense underway inside of the bathroom, where the entity is following me around inside of the unit, and at 5:09 p.m., where you'll see the fake sun in a substantially identical position, non-movement, while it's seen bursting through the same living room window where the fake sun is sitting over me, over that same living room window right now. That is 3 hours from now at 5:09 p.m. As I was documenting that, the demon in Unit 55 engaging in the same criminal acts, while admittedly keeping my devices and keeping me under surveillance inside of this apartment, which is a sex offense committed by the state, where she is vicariously acting as an entity, not just putting herself in a mental asylum. Everybody else around her is gang stalking as well, by definition and understanding how that system operates. And this is what was happening at 5:10 p.m. in that same supernatural environment under the fake sun amongst engineer light in operation of my communication device, the demon in Unit 55, license 5 WUB 715, engaging in psychological torture, criminal acts of intimidation, harassment, retaliation, speaking to mental illness of the entity that is as though you're going to stop or bully the federal government from prosecuting you. This is, again, what the reality that the entity, the mentally ill, do not accept. They're hostile to it, and they actually engage in what is targeting the federal government. That's literally what they're doing as the way in which the law is going to be executed against them. And the entity is doing so as a statewide system. That's the state government that's gang stalking with the mentally ill, with a mental health patient in Unit 55 at the venue as a state actor while they're being simultaneously prosecuted. So I want to make sure I document that. That's a criminal act of obstruction. It's relevant to the ongoing federal stalking. They're all stalking, including the demons that come onto the grounds, gang stalking, including license 8 CEN 634, stalking in violation of the Violence Against Women Act. It is currently, again, 2:30 p.m. This is